Welcome to From the Wings. Today I have two very special guests with me. First of all,
I'm Katie VanderKooi, and I am a music teacher and also studying music therapy, and I live in Greenville, South Carolina.
And I'm Rebecca Leland. You know me.
One of the things that we would like to do at From the Wings is to keep you in the know for what's going on with different trends in all things about theater. Euphoria now ranks as the second most watched show in all of HBO's history across all platforms, only behind Game of Thrones. The season 2 episodes of Euphoria currently average around 16.3 million viewers across all platforms. So we decided to watch, and I'm sorry to say that I invited these innocent people here with me to watch the show today. Honestly, we couldn't even get through it. First of all, the language is fierce. Fierce. And I don't really consider myself a prude, but it was very uncomfortable for me to watch. And then to add the nudity on top of it and the casualness of it, the fact that a normal teen could just sit down and be flipping through Amazon and this could come up and the next thing you know they're watching something and becoming involved.
I feel like whenever I was a kid, you'd watch a show that wasn't that great, like something about like teen pregnancy, and they're just, okay, well, she got pregnant, and you're like, oh, that's like pretty heavy subject. But here they're literally showing like kids having sex.
Well, I think part of the problem is that I was watching it and it seems like they're not showing it in a negative aspect. She said at one point that if I could stop doing this, I would, but not for me, for my family. And she didn't look like she was miserable, you know? No. So they're not portraying it as a negative lifestyle.
Right. In fact, they showed her on a trip or whatever with her being euphoric, right? Mm-hmm. And that was probably the happiest anybody was in the whole little bit that we watched is that moment where it's like, here, my troubles all go away at this point, and it's the only time I really care about anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That, again, I have no other words. I'm just speechless. I'm frightened for the hold Satan has on entertainment. Actually, the article that I read said that the thing that they thought was admirable about the show is the realism.
I don't like about it coming from like a videographer's view. It was so well shot. Like, they are paying big money to people who are incredible at videography, incredible at lighting and like sound. So it is beautiful to watch, and I hated that. It's huge on TikTok. And I think I wasn't expecting it to be so bad because it's so big. My age group is having like Euphoria parties, so you're gonna dress up like people in Euphoria, and you're gonna, drink and have fun, and you're gonna have games that are, about Euphoria and stuff. So this is big. And also what you said is this is not for my age group. This is being targeted toward kids. Like, on the page, it was Euphoria, SpongeBob. Because people are going to say, like, okay, well, porn is accessible, so kids can. But this is being targeted. So porn is being targeted toward children.
And one of the ways they did that is because of the star. Who the star is...
Zendaya.
And she, of course, is Disney fame, the head star of the whole thing, the female lead, and following her life automatically makes these kids be drawn because they're fans, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
So the thing that really shocks me is the thing that the blogger that I read actually said, that there is something good about it, too, because of the reality. So, I mean, what do you think?
Well, something that I've learned in studying music therapy is just that, honestly, like, nothing can really shock you anymore. And when you're working with somebody...
Girl, who are you talking to?
You're definitely not supposed to show it on your face, And so, but it's just the idea that, like, this type of lifestyle is so prevalent. And I wonder if it's because we are not necessarily in a Christian bubble, but we really are, like, surrounded by a lot of Christians, and like, the world, it's just so deep into the world, this type of lifestyle. So as a therapist, I'm not surprised that somebody would be here. It's shocking going into this show because it starts out with like, bam, drugs, bam, like nudity, bam, all of this stuff. But if you think about it, in the show, they try to blame like the excuses, like you mentioned that she had. But really, it's just like lifestyle choices that gradually get somebody to that point.
You know, they're teaching you things like how to pass a urine test. It's like, what?
So much that kids should not be learning how to do.
Our disclaimer is we did not watch it all the way through. So I suppose there could be a disclaimer at the end.
I give you $10 if there is.
Yeah, I wonder if there is any amount of redeeming quality in this show, you know?
10 minutes into it, she walks up to the guy
Yes.
after she gets out of rehab, and he goes, how you doing? She goes, oh, well, life is great after believing in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And he goes, oh, good for you. And she goes, no, I'm just messing with you. And then he even said, oh, well, I wouldn't judge. If she goes, no, like, da-da-da. And, like, that is just the writers purposely being like,
oh yeah,
and we will be jabbing it. Like, they literally said, what is sin? And they just put it in.
I feel like that was Satan's attack. He's like, hey, we're going to make this so great, and we're going to have all these millions of people watching us, and we're even going to make fun of who you say your God is all at the same time. Because I can. Because this is my kingdom.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you that you have to be more careful than you ever knew that you needed to.
I would say, do you think that this show, if it went on to show more of the ugliness of this sort of lifestyle, and it did present it in a really bad way and wanted people not to desire to have that, do you think that that would be enough to redeem the fact that this show exists?